Whenever you're talking about balance, balance became a buzzword some time ago, and it became an obstacle or it became an obstacle for some people because of the goal that it became for other people to achieve balance. Some people call it work-life balance. And what I've learned is that alignment is actually what we should be striving for, because when it comes to balance, you can manage your time and your resources to balance all the wrong things and still be completely out of line. So when it comes to balance and alignment, it's important to really delve down and see what that means for your life. You see, because the idea of balance seems so great, seems like what you should be striving for. The idea of balance seems like, if you visualize yourself balancing yourself, it seems like it takes a lot of effort and a lot of strength and a lot of smarts to be able to balance yourself. But we really have to look at what exactly it is that we're balancing. What are the things that are quote unquote on our plate? What are the things that we're saying yes to that we are balancing that may not necessarily be giving us the zest for life? It may not be giving us a fulfillment or a joy in our life, but we're able to balance it. And then a lot of gurus or influencers or philosophers or whatever you want to call them have the school of thought that you just need to prioritize. Well, what does that even mean? How do you even do that? How do you choose what's a priority when a lot of what is on your list are things that you don't love, you're not passionate about, and could care less about? Well, the first thing is using your heart, your soul, your spirit, your joy quotient, or your happy meter to gauge what you should even be involved in. If you're a parent, just because your kid is on the team doesn't mean you have to be the team mom. Doesn't mean you have to single-handedly coordinate the end of the season party. Just because you are on the committee doesn't mean you have to commandeer a orchestra of things in order to make yourself feel valued or worthy. It's a team effort. And maybe you shouldn't even be in the organization. These are the things that you have to consider when trying to achieve alignment. So think of it in terms of, what are the things that are my responsibility, or even what are the things that I just simply do on a daily basis that I don't actually have to do? Maybe what it is has to get done, but you don't actually have to do it. Once you've done that, now you're getting somewhere. And in truth, you are changing your life to change your future. Because when you focus too much on things that you shouldn't be doing or shouldn't be involved in, you begin to create more of that. And any life that is filled or just has too much of the things that don't bring you joy, it's going to be a life that's pitiful, and it's going to be a life that takes you further and further away from what it is you were actually created to be. So you have to have the majority of what you do has to be something that brings a source of joy and happiness to you. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And I know you're probably thinking, but Alana, I live for the weekends. My joy and my happy time in my life is segregated to after work hours and on the weekends. And that's a sad truth for a lot of us, but it's also exactly what you need to focus on getting rid of in order for you to create the kind of life that you want. Not just want, but need. And many of us have been taught that that's just how life works, and that is a lie. That is an absolute lie. Life is not waiting for you to actually live it and enjoy it after you retire from a job that you hate. An enjoyable life is not one where you're sitting around waiting for some time to chill because you are so sick and worn out of doing a ton of shit that doesn't bring you joy and that doesn't create happiness for you. It is possible to be done, and not only is it possible to be done, but you have every single thing that you need to get it done right now where you currently are, for free, in your midst, right now. Everything you need to get started on that, you got it already. Okay, and here is how you're going to do it. You are going to think about the thing that brings you joy, or the things that bring you joy. And when I say bring you joy, I don't mean just the pauses in time or the moments away from the chaos where you can take a deep breath. I mean the thing that when you get a chance to do it, it taps into your creativity. It makes you feel like you're accomplished. It makes you feel smart. Let's look at that thing. That's what we need to focus on. We don't need to focus on all of the things that are bad. When you focus on the good and the things that bring you joy, more goodness and more joy is going to come your way. Let's look at that. Whatever that thing is, we're going to not only focus on it, but we're going to figure out ways to make it occur and appear more often in our lives. Once we do that, we're going to focus even more on those little steps and tricks and things. And as we focus on that, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's the focusing on the thing that you're so great at that it brings you joy and makes you feel smart and people love when you do it, that will end up getting so big that it'll snuff out all of the other little things in your life that require you to be mundane and not live fulfilled and enjoyed. And that is where a life aligned begins to create itself at your hands. And you can do it.